This is crazy. I remember playing countless Sonic games, 2D and 3D, when I was a kid like more than a decade ago, and then being very excited when the first Sonic movie got announced. But then looking at the design of Sonic initially and being like, what the actual... They butchered it so hard. But then they fixed it. They spent millions of dollars to redesign Sonic into the way the fans wanted it to be. That's dedication right there. And so we had the first movie, which was pretty good, and now, only a little bit more than 2 years later, the sequel arrives, which is even better. But we'll get to that in a second. First of all, does anyone remember that vlog review I did when I was in Southeast Asia for an internship and watched the first Sonic movie and gave my first impressions on it? Of course you didn't. Nobody watched my videos back then and they still don't, but that's a video for another day. But the reason I wanted to bring that up was because, like was speculated in that video, my thoughts about that movie did change ever since I rewatched it just recently. The first time since my first viewing in Southeast Asia, might I add. The first one, while shorter than I would have liked and different because it was like a mix between animation and real actors, was still pretty fun and heartwarming in a way, as I loved the development between the two lead characters. Initially, I kind of bashed it, saying that, I didn't really like how it wasn't really built within the Sonic the Hedgehog universe, and the story was kind of generic as well. But now, I don't really mind all of that because it felt like a new twist to Sonic, and was still very fun and hilarious. And like I thought back then, that was only the beginning. The next few movies are what's going to be even bigger and when things get a whole lot more interesting. And I was right. In comes Sonic the Hedgehog 2. In this movie, you not only have Sonic, but Tails and Knuckles join the party as well. One as an ally to Sonic, but another as a foe, teaming up with Dr. Robotnik. And throughout the movie, they butt heads constantly during the search for this powerful and mystical emerald, where if it falls into the wrong hands, the whole world is doomed. Can I just say how excited I was for this movie beforehand? I got goosebumps after watching the initial trailer, or the first trailer of this movie. Man, even when I saw Tails for the first time, like in the mid-credits scene in the first movie, and then now this trailer, I knew it was going to be good even before coming into it. This movie, I feel, will make most Sonic fans satisfied. Even though it might not be 100% accurate, I feel like this movie does stay true to the games, more specifically Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. Look, I'm not a die-hard Sonic fan or anything. It's been a while since I played any of the games, so my knowledge is a bit rusty. Though I did play Sonic 1, 2, 3, 4, Unleashed, Colors, Generations, a lot, okay? It has been a while. But no, even though that is the case, I still could see where this movie was headed, and I appreciated the journey because it made a whole lot of sense, especially the relationship between Sonic and Knuckles in this one. I was curious too, before this movie, I had never really realized, or maybe just forgot, that Knuckles was like against Sonic at the start, but then I read upon some of the lore, and the movie does feel like it stays pretty close to the original story. I'm not going to say any more than that though, to avoid possible spoilers, but those who know will know. But still, like I said, it's not totally accurate. For one, it's animation mixed in with the real world and real actors, which is fine. I mean, you've got to have like your own twist to keep things interesting, right? And now, after having watched both movies, I feel like a fully animated one just wouldn't be as interesting. And it's like, by having real actors, it's like if Sonic and his friends actually came into the real world, like our world. I like that twist. Not only that, but you can spread the movies out and not rush things, just have kind of like your own kind of original story while putting in, elements and references from the games, And more specifically, not rush things by putting a whole lot of characters from the Sonic universe in one movie, for example. You can tease the audience a lot more. And my god, without giving too much away, there were certain parts of this movie where things happened exactly the way I wanted them to happen. At one point, it almost brought a tear to my eye, and that made me hella glad. With all that being said though, it's not perfect. Obviously, most movies aren't perfect, but regardless, this movie had, some areas where I thought it could have done a little bit better. First of all, there's not as much backstory for Tails, not as much as I would have wanted. We don't really learn too much of where he came from. He just kind of appeared out of nowhere. We do learn his intentions, of course, and a little bit of his backstory, but it just feels too little for such an important character. I don't know, maybe that's just me though, but it just felt like Sonic and Tails' relationship was pretty rushed. Suddenly they became friends when they hadn't even met each other before. Whereas the relationship between Sonic and Knuckles, on the other hand, went at a much more steady pace and made more sense. Speaking of Knuckles, his relationship with Jim Carrey's Eggman also made a lot of sense, and I felt definitely stayed true to the games. However, in this movie, unlike the first movie, I felt Jim Carrey didn't shine as much and was kind of, I don't know, he was alright, but it just felt like he was outshined by his partner in crime, Knuckles. Yeah, I think who shined most in this movie was, in fact, Knuckles. We learn a lot about him, his backstory, his intentions, why he is targeting who he is targeting, and just his overall development in the movie. And what made that happen was Idris Elba. This is something I forgot to mention. Idris Elba as Knuckles and Colleen O'Shaughnessy as Tails just felt perfect. Incredible voice acting, incredible environment design, still the same humor, though honestly I found myself not cracking up as hard in this movie compared to the first movie for some reason, and it also didn't feel as heartwarming in a way, since in the first movie it was dealing with Sonic and his loneliness, making his first friend and all that on a new planet he's never been in before. In this one, it's kind of less of that, but it is more badass and more epic. So there's better and worse aspects in this movie compared to the first one, but I'd still say this one was better because of the additional characters. There was also this huge sub-story about this marriage, which I don't know if I like that or not. It's kind of like the same thing I thought about the Tom and Jerry movie. Like, when it got to the humans and the real actors, I was like, take me back to Sonic and Friends. I don't care too much about this crap, you know what I mean? But apart from that, this movie had a few minor issues, but as a Sonic fan, by the end, I was satisfied enough. This is a movie with a fun journey. At times I was like, it was okay. A few childish humor here and there. Most of this appeals for kids, for a good reason, while at other times it was just glorious and exactly what I wanted as a Sonic fan. The point is, I didn't feel complete or satisfied until I watched through the whole movie. I'm going to give Sonic the Hedgehog 2 a B+. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think down below, like and sub if you enjoyed, and as always, feel free to check out any of my previous videos. Until next time.